mind, it's okay. She off your mind, like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary political, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner, Maiyegun don't come, okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, Maiyegun don't come, my people make we shout, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, Maiyegun don't come, Maiyegun diary political, Maiyegun don't come, this one not the off in mind, Maiyegun don't come, person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you loud, Maiyegun don't come.
Hello there, Alexa. Turn it up to 7. Hello there, Alexa. Turn it down to 2. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Maiyegun live, and by popular demand, people said they wanted to feel, or they want to see what they used to feel from the kitchen when we cook the whole thing, hit them hard, send it out, and in fact, rile them up. So if you are watching me live now, this is Maiyegun's Diary Political Sunday Sermon. Share it. Hope so starts. Alexa, turn it up to 7. Thank you. Share the broadcast. Tell them. He used to be here. Thank you, thank you. I'll be so nice to you. Alexa, turn it down to 0 because I don't want to hear that for now. So thank you so much for joining me. Happy Sunday to you. So for those who have actually been so used to what we do in the kitchen when we started, it was like a no holds bar conversation, and we picked topic like I just did. If you are watching now and then you've seen the caption of the broadcast, you can make your own contribution. It's going to be as interesting as it can be and as truthful as it can be, and it can sometimes be as annoying as I would want to make people get hungry. All of these are just to eat the right chord, possibly eating the right chord, telling people the truth they don't want to accept, making them change from their ways of their ways of ignorance or selective amnesia. Olori Bruku are those who are leading you. You see, if you want to deal with those in charge of Nigeria, if you want to understand their psyche, right, the first thing you have to tell yourself is that now Olori Brukus wearies, they lead you. So once you have that at the back of your mind, you are likely not to be among those who raise their expectation of these people. You won't expect anything. And when you don't expect anything, there is possibility for you to reject whatever is thrown at you because you can possibly have a value. Liejiriyans don't have value. Your leaders don't have any value over your lives, right? The last 24 hours, 48 hours, Nigeria has been befuddled with the reports of Fulani terrorists killing over 218 Nigerians in Zamfara alone. Now, this should have been a national disaster, something that will get politicians shitting their pants, that then terrorists killed over 200, as if to say, your government is not a terrorist government itself. You have a government that is a terrorist government, a government on its own. When terrorists kill 100 people, 200 people, 1,000 people, your government do the same. Your government wearing their uniform and their soldiers and the rest, they send them to the same civilian communities to murder civilians. So terrorist government terrorizing the people, and then you have the real terrorists as well who are running hammer, berserk. 218 human beings in 2 days. Do you know the story? They said that they were chasing the Zamfara bandits, right? Terrorists. And on their way out of Zamfara, they just decided to stop at some communities and they killed 218 people. You see, when they were killing people in Zamfara, yeah, Buhari was in assholerock. They did the John Dice interview, the pressing interview. They are further divided, even the people more. It's never inspiring in any of his utterances. Why 218 people were meeting their death? God knows how many numbers of people who died in Enugu. The eyewitness account said many people are missing because they were running away from the terrorists, the Fulani terrorists in Enugu. In Ibadan, yesterday, some people were not so lucky. A driver was shot, and then they said his wife was taken, and other people too. In Ondo, just yesterday as well, 3 people were murdered by the same Fulani terrorists. But guess what? Buhari was inside the assholerock, the old people's home, giving advice to the young people to go back to their farm. Then yesterday, Ikene Shatabandu fake Pastor Ruga Osinbajo, the Agbowori Baba Oja, that fake short man, yeah, uttered their usual line. No power can break Nigeria. You know why? Even your bleeding, the massacring of your people is not enough for you to demand out of this contraption. But to Osinbajo, the fake Pastor Ruga. So he was at a wedding. Let me see if I have the video. I'll share that with you. He was at a wedding. You remember he himself is angry to be president too. Well, they met at a wedding. They call it a what do you call it, fatia or something. Then they bombarded him. You see, if you have such life, you probably won't want Nigeria to break up as well. But take a look at this. While many of you who are yet to be killed by these terrorists in government and out of government, yeah, while many of you are still probably dealing with what Nigeria is throwing at you, more than 300 Nigerians met their death. And it took your Buhari 72 hours to just come out as usual, make a statement. We are going to deal with them. We are going to arrest them. We are going to end the terrorism. Blah, 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 blah. One Liejirians. 218 people. I mean, 218 people. Mental, right? No, that's not all. You have been hearing people who said they would never, at least Buhari has taught them that it is either they are not part of Nigeria anymore if they still have to serve under another Fulani president or whatever you. Oh no, we will never serve under any northerner anymore. But guess what? Do you know that some of you will believe that this whole bad dream, some of you call it bad dream, this death, killings, kidnapping, all this economic hardship, joblessness, corruption, and all that, yeah? Oh, we can't wait for them to get out of there. The one Liejiriyans. Now, if you want to know the truth, as a young person, the Southern Nigeria PDP, they have concluded that whether you have phobia for Fulani or now the North, you have your phobia for, yeah, there is no help inside. You are still going to serve another Fulani because that is what Nigeria has become now. So there's nothing that says being part of a country that is not working and the beneficiary of that system making all these statements, that doesn't make it real. Because you know what? Whether you agree with it or not, the Nigeria you have now, even those who claim to be power brokers in Southern Nigeria, the Nigeria you have now is modeled after the Northern Nigeria. If you want to actually consider yourself as a Nigerian or part of the political player or any other thing at all, you must gravitate yourself towards the Northern Nigeria. And remember, that was not what Ikene Shatabandu, the fake Pastor Ruga's in-law. You know, Awolowo is the fake Pastor Ruga's in-law, as according to what they told us. Pastor Ruga's wife is the family of the late sage Awolowo. And it was Awolowo that said, Kàkà kí n dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún rárá, ká kúkú rọ́jú kú. That was sorry about that. Kàkà ká dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún Gàmbàrí, ká kúkú rọ́jú kú. But when you look at those who are parading themselves as Oh, we are from Yoruba land, we are Yoruba leaders, we know what the Yorubas want, all these greedy old scums, yeah? They are ready to prostrate, chest flat. Boko Haram's stinking ass, they are ready to lick, they are actually linking it like that. Useless human beings with age in their heads, like calendar, as we say. They get age for head like calendar, but they are as useless as their youth. Now they are dragging the entire race into that, entire Yoruba people into that. We have identity. How could you just use one summary? Like there is no problem. You know, that's another thing. No? You see all these problems that we talk about all the time, they know about them. Now, they don't want to talk about them because they have no plan of doing anything about them. Doing something about them means that Nigeria will cease. And when Nigeria ceases, their pot of soup ceases. Their feeding bottle stops. They don't want to talk about all these differences. They don't want to talk about all the injustice. They don't want to talk about all the inequality. They don't want to talk about that. But they drag the Yoruba into it. It is the Yoruba tongue. And me as a Yoruba man, I will come be the mumu. I will come follow these people who are prostrating for Gambari, for just a kola nut, or whatever they give to them, the peanut porridge they give to them, whatever they promise them, whatever Nigeria is promising them. Yoruba is secondary to them. And therefore, just take it until they kill you. And I don't want to get killed before I ask other people to resist them. So if I talk to you and I tell you about the danger of the danger that these guys have become and how dangerous they are going to still become as they become more desperate in gravitating towards the same useless criminal leaders from northern Nigeria that some of them would never approve of, if not because of what they are getting from what they are getting from Nigeria. So I'm a Yoruba man. You won't expect me, after knowing all this, knowing these guys, right? I know these guys. We know them by what they have done. There is no need to make up anything on them, okay? This is Nigeria that you have. You have no other one now. That's the same Nigeria. And you can tell the state of that your Nigeria now. Now, when you talk about the state of that Nigeria now, yeah, it involves everybody. Now, as it involves everybody, yeah, normally you would say, oh, shouldn't there be a concern for everyone now that we're all feeling this in a way, including the politicians, and say, let's fix this. I mean, let's start addressing all this division. Let's start addressing all these problems rather than brushing it aside. They will all wake up one morning and there will be no Nigeria. You will wake up one morning and there will be no Nigeria. And listen, this doesn't require any power to break Nigeria. These guys, they will break up Nigeria sooner or later. Ask me how. Their actions and their inactions. The generation coming now, this generation pushing it and pushing it here, the generation will catch up with them. Some of them will be gone. The system they struggled, they struggled to keep together. The fraudulent country they struggled to keep together. Look at yourselves, to ask yourselves now, what is the conversation among your generation? Those who are younger than you. Ask them, what's the conversation now? This Nigeria is, it's a waste of time. This Nigeria is not working. Something needed to be done, but they haven't come to that reality that until they kick out the criminals like Osinbajo, that would use every trick in the book to appeal to your emotional side and then manipulate that to their own advantage politically, only to then turn around when that backfire and blame you for being probably lazy. You just want everything to be done for you. That's what they do. So a generation is coming. In fact, that generation is here. They will question everything. Look, if you are in your 30s, okay, I don't really have issue with you. You know why? You are my own generation. And I can tell you about my generation. We are the last confused ones who felt like, should we act or should we wait? And we are then lost in between when Nigeria happened to us. So I'm not talking to you. A generation that is impatient is coming. They are here. They will understand that Nigeria perfectly well. They are not going to be patient. They will burn. They will burn. They will destroy. They will, until they get what they want. And to avoid all of that, I am saying it to you now. That you see this criminal gang, these guys, whose act and their actions, they care no whit about the consequence of it or consequences of that. You are the consequences of, you are the victims of the consequences of their action. So when they come out and use a blanket statement, nothing will break up this Nigeria. At the same time, Nigeria is not negotiable. They are breeding a generation that one day they will wake up and Nigeria will be gone. It is their action. These are the guys who have no genuine plan for you, for your children, for the country, for your existence, and every other thing that should add value to make you human. They care no good. And for the fact that they don't care, this is how I see it. They are building they are grooming an explosive country that even the rest of the world that is looking away right now, they will not be able to look away when Nigeria will explode. Some said by the year 2030, the population of Nigeria will be somewhere around the 300 million. Now, that is a catastrophe. Now, if you add we are in 2022, 8 years away, Nigeria population will be hovering around 270 million, 300 million. It is already the poverty capital of the world. And it is also the country with the highest number of young people in the whole world, Nigeria. What does that tell you? Then it is also the country with the highest unemployment rate in the whole wide world, which means able-bodied, agile, active, strong population of Nigeria. Half of them, or if not 70% of them, are useless, jobless, unproductive, and therefore they add nothing. Then add the rest of all those wankers, all those scroungers, you call politicians and public office holders, right? Who added nothing, but they also take. Now, when you now look at that stretch of how many years this is going to take, the children that are going to be born around that time, no plan of anything for them, education, no healthcare, or even a good economy that could possibly make, give them the chance to feed themselves. They will not be there because there's no plan for them. That is called explosion. No matter the mirage you are living right now, it go better that you are telling yourself. Your parents told themselves the same thing. Do you know that? Your parents, when they were younger like you, they were telling themselves that it go better. Or where did you learn that from, if I may ask you? If not from your parents, it go better. Has it been better? It will never be. The reason is it's not because you are not praying enough. It's not because you are probably not hardworking enough. It is because you have the canker ones parading themselves as honorable men and women, making decisions for the millions of you, including the generations unborn. Now, the plans they are making are all bogus. The one they made since 1960, where we are now. Now, the criminals who put all that together are still there telling you that you have to deal with it. Live with it. If you can't live with it. So to me, it's an explosion waiting to happen. You don't need a prophet to tell you that. So as a young person, it is either you are in on it, because you can't pretend not to know. And you can't keep your reaction just at, reactionary. Oh, now there, Maiyegun, that's what they do. What Maiyegun is asking these days, until you act, nothing will change. A wish, you can wish, right? I'm a teacher. I consider myself a teacher now. Yes, it is live. If you see, let me give you a trick. For some of my friends who sometimes get confused, like, is Maiyegun live or is he not live, right? Sometimes I can be live on YouTube, and it will be like the replay of my broadcast. But you always see something at the bottom. You see something. You see where you see that name, Maiyegun General, January 9. It will be covered, even if I'm showing it live. When it's covered, it simply means it is a replay. But bro, if you see me right here, right now, doing days like this is live. I won't make a smutty. We can make smutty. By the way, if you are watching me anyway, share the broadcast. I'm still coming back onto the explosion of Nigeria, that the likes of Incompetent Leadership and co could make a blanket statement pretending that this division is not real. It is real. And the more they know about it and work around it, the more they can prevent the explosion. If not, they might blow last year. Nobody go and you know what I mean? Alexa, turn it up to 7. Thank you. Alexa, turn it down to 0 and leave them there. Thank you. So they know that it is a matter of time before Nigeria, their lovely Nigeria, will explode. But guess what? Some of them feels like they have secured some sort of assets to make up for that when Nigeria finally explodes. They don't really care. Let me give you this another example. Okay, Osinbajo is a lawyer. Do you get that? Osinbajo is a lawyer, even though it's not different from charge and bail lawyer. All of them are job men. Everybody using what they get, what they know to get what they want. Job men, guy men. Osinbajo is a lawyer, and from what I have been told, if you are a genuine lawyer, you can never, ever feel comfortable where injustice becomes the order of the day. You won't be comfortable. Prove me wrong. Except all these charge and bail lawyers, guy men lawyer. You will never feel comfortable. But Osinbajo is as criminally minded as Tinubu. And I have my evidence. That is why when people make a critical assessment of Osinbajo, the Kenneth Shatabandu, he will threaten to sue you. He never sue anybody. You know why? If you sue somebody who accuses you of being a thief, you don't know what they are going to present. Therefore, you may end up being a defendant in your own case. That is why these likes of Tinubu and gang, they can't sue anybody for real. For real, they can't. The last time Tinubu sued Dokwesi, it's not because Dokwesi was lying. That's why he apologized or whatever. No. Dokwesi himself is a dirty man in a dirty country, in a dirty system that protects all these dirty criminals that appears like genuine people. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. They won't sue you. They will rather possibly make you disappear. And well, they would have to try in this regard. Ikene Shatabandu, a lawyer, sat there with the megad, the illiterate breeding mannequin called Buhari. trampled upon the constitution, their fake documents. Do you know that this is not an excuse? It's not excusable at all for a learned lawyer. But Osinbajo is not new to dirty job. He's been doing it. He's been waiting for the payday. He's always been waiting for the day he will cash out, just like many of them. A lawyer and a tyrant. Tell me how they take join. It was the same Osinbajo Ikene Shatabandu that was the Attorney General of Lagos State under Tifnumbu, the Jaga bandits, the Jaga weary, the Jaga addicts, the Ashiwaju Amuli, Ashiwaju Amagberu, Ashiwaju Amobebiri, Ashiwaju Amapayan of Lagos. He was the Attorney General. You see, everything they said Tifnumbu stole in Lagos State, he stole them. Everything they said he stole them. 100%. 100%. And he's never been held responsible for them. The only person who tried to shake him and shakara him, see if he make get his to his own side, was Goodluck Ebere Jolantan. Now, Goodluck Ebere Jolantan, who is also being said to being dragged into this charade, was the only person who actually shook at Tifnumbu. But it was all drama. They are all dirty. They are all a bunch of dirty criminals, dirty rogues, taking advantage of you. Because you know how I get to know. It is what they've made, the mess they've made of your lives. That is enough for me. Even if you are living in denial of it. It was Osinbajo that did all the documentation, how they put together laws, how they did some of these things that made it look so legal for Tifnumbu to own half of Lagos State, if no more. Osinbajo did that, and he's meant to be a pastor. So these are a bunch of career criminals from Lagos State. Tifnumbu sent somebody to FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, in Abuja. His name is Fowler, Tunde Fowler. Tunde Fowler happens to be one of those, runs boys of Tifnumbu when it comes to this financial criminality, which all of them are involved. All of them. Tunde Fowler spent just how many years in Abuja? Even Buhari, the Buhari and gang who be automatic thieves. They were scared of Fowler. They had to send them away. A Tifnumbu boy. There are many of them that they gave trial to. They were thieves. These guys are thieves. Copy this video, crop it out, go and show it to them, and give them my address. I live in Glasgow. We have courts here. Don't sue me in Nigeria. Don't say, oh, what were you saying? But shut up. You know what I mean? This bunch of rogues are now presenting themselves as your alternatives, as if to say they're actually going to get it. They won't. That's the reality. Presenting themselves as your option and possible solution to the problems they brought upon you. I'm a Yoruba man. It made me sick in my stomach that Yorubas have no real leaders anymore. No real leaders, politically or anywhere. You just have a bunch of opportunists, scavengers, lazy, unproductive bunch of crooks. Those are what they are. Bunch of crooks, opportunists, pickpockets, lazy bums, bunch of scavengers. That's what you have in Yoruba land right now. And they will prostrate for anybody that will guarantee that they will get free meal, free feeding bottle, free milk, free car, free house, free vacation, free this and that. Bunch of lazy, unproductive people. And that's what reflects on so many of you in Yoruba land. You have taken after your leaders. Yeah? Many of you. Since your leaders are milking Nigeria, benefiting from it. You bunch of lazy bums as well. You have taken after your leaders, especially those of you, the Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, these unboot slaves, the obedient fools, and the sophisticated morons. You know them. You have taken after them, waiting for your own turn. But guess what? You are just a disaster waiting to happen. Your leaders are a bunch of lazy beggars who actually have no spine to even stand up as Yoruba. They can't stand like this as Yorubas. They are a bunch of beggars. And when you listen to them and they drag you into, yeah, we have this new magic. All we needed is that power. And then you go on the throttle and you start shouting, yeah, swagger this, swagger that. Look around you. Look at the mess they've made of your lives. Look at the mess they've made of your environment. Look at look at what they have done. And tell yourselves the truth. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe then you can see through the charade. You see this whole drama of changing the rule of the game in the middle of it is a joke on some of you if you don't know. I mean, how could characters who did this to you then turn around to be your messiahs? I mean, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Terrible. So that is the category where these guys fall. So every time they make all these nonsense statements, the right thing to say to the right young people is that don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Or if you have already started listening to them, well, hopefully you get your healing in time. There is this, where is that again? Okay. Oh, I didn't have that up. There is this clip of a man that was shot in Ibadan. Some of you were reading the story yesterday, but you know, Fulani terrorist in Oyo State, Fulani terrorists in Ondo State, Fulani terrorists in Yoruba land. And guess what? The likes of Osinbajo, the likes of Tifnumbu, they don't even have the spine to speak up for you. The other PDP governors in Yoruba land and then PDP governor in Yoruba land, PDP governors in southern Nigeria, they are already working to put you under another Fulani for another 8 years. And I think that is where the trick comes in. They seems to know what they have done to some of you. They actually do know what they have done. They have messed so much with your psyche that they could play anything they want to play. And some of you are actually there waiting. Let's see what they are going to do, not what you want to do. I saw some of you mocking Omoyele on Facebook simply because he was reporting about the usual illegal arrest and assault of a younger person, a young comrade right there in Nigeria. You were laughing at him, you were mocking him. But hey, some of you have no real spine. You have no real, you have no idea of what you really want until these rogues hand them over to you. And they are going to hand you Jonathan. They're going to hand you Tambua. They're going to hand you Saraki. They're going to give you Athifku. They're going to give you Sule Lamido, Kwakwanso, and the rest of them. And some of you who feels like breaking up of Nigeria or renegotiating the existence of Nigeria from what it is now to something that is that actually works for the people, which is their right. Those of you who are waiting now, okay, once Buhari is gone, the remaining, the fake people that promised you, change, Tifnumbu and Gang and Co, or any Southerner that comes again, will just suddenly, they will just push away everything Buhari did. You are about to find out that and I don't know how you're going to react to that then when you don't even have a clue. Some of you have a clue what I'm even talking about. There are those who don't have a clue. They are just this one-way traffic motor, these unboot slaves, psychologically ruined Liejiriyans. They think one road, and that one road leads to APC. The other road leads to PDP. Papa the sick picking, right? Then at the end of the day, they all end up in the same shithole Ligeria when that starts happening to them. So they don't think. You can't tell them not to destroy themselves until they do. But some of you waiting, that may be the nightmare that makes you feel like Nigeria is not for you, this and that. Yet we disappear when Buhari is gone. No. Your problem is not going away. And these guys can continue to make a flowery statement, blanket statements. Nigeria, no power can divide Nigeria. There is no power that needed to, there's no power to do. There's no power to divide Nigeria or any other power to use to divide Nigeria other than to cash on the atrocities of these rogues. That is enough to end Nigeria. And if this generation won't do it, there will be a generation that will do it. And I'm very confident of that because some people said when we started that we have no respect. You don't respect the thieves. That's one thing. Psychologically, mentally, don't ever respect thieves. As a Yoruba man, as a Yoruba woman, if you are well brought up, you will know that in Yoruba land, we are not meant to celebrate thieves. These politicians came and they changed the identity of thievery and thieves to what they see it as today. But that would erode us of our culture, tradition, the revered Yoruba culture, which despises cheating and stealing, of course. So therefore, you won't respect any of these criminals, even if they are as old as Methuselah. These are a bunch of rogues who stole your future. They stole the future of many of you young people. And as a young Yoruba man, it hurts to see that some of you have actually, dumped your entire lives in the course of promoting, defending the same people who brought you to the state. Now, there are those who have no clue what to do. Those are the ones I'm saying to you now. If you are watching me right now, there is no way in any flowery statement these guys are going to make. There's no road or nowhere that this will lead you to. If you believe anything that comes out of this fake pastor Ruda, and don't ever let anybody use religion to influence your decision like this. This has to do with your life and your future. Nigeria is not working. What is going to work? Yeah, that's the great question. If Nigeria is not working for you, what do you think will work? You break it up. How do you do that? Yeah? End the shitty nonsense. Reject all these rogue politicians that continue to ask you to validate and revalidate their, their string of corrupt existence and all that. Yeah? If you withdraw from that, and we do away with these rogues, gradually you take that power back to yourself. When they call in for, let us go for their rally, you boycott that. You are not going to glamorize any of their gathering. You are never going to, honor any of their grouping with your presence. Once you start having that psychological, mental capacity to do that and get away with that, every other thing will fall in place. You see, this charlatan, they will use anything. This is the time they're going to. Well, they are already doing it. If you're a Yoruba man, they're already doing it. But that's not enough. Using your tribe to blackmail you into agreeing with them. They are the same people, for goodness sake. These guys are not different from what they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's you who never really paid attention, thinking probably they will change. They don't change. Thieves, criminals don't change. Crooks, bloodsuckers don't change. You don't give them that chance. You don't give them that breathing space. Nigeria is their breathing space. If you take it away from them, God, man, they will die natural death because they are pretty much like a parasites who feed on its host. That's who they are. Bunch of rogues. And they will use anything. They're already using your tribe. Now the next is going to be religion. They have already started that of the religion. Don't let any goddamn madman or madwoman tell you anything about God is choosing this, God is saying this, God is saying that. When it comes to talking about Nigeria, I get my reason why. Even Baba Debuye, Pastor, sorry, give me a sec. Alexa, turn it up to 7. 1 second. Alexa, turn it up to 7. That's a yawa. Alexa, turn it up to 7. Alexa, turn it down to 0. Thank you. Don't let anybody use religion to deceive you when it comes to talking about Nigeria. And don't get confused, okay? How do we break up Nigeria, Maiyegun? You can do it. Yes, you can. If you are indeed tired, yeah? Breaking up of Nigeria, you know, metaphorically, starts from some of us who have mentally, yeah, dissociate from Nigeria. So you can do same. The first thing there, right? Then the breaking Nigeria starts from number 1. You see that arrangement, that servitude arrangement that makes this jobless, unproductive Nigeria government, as they say, federal government, to become the Father Christmas who steal from Peter, rob Peter to pay Paul. We need to break that evil. That's what you call the rearrangement. Start from that. First, yeah, you will ask that your resources, your land, and everything therein belong to you, and you don't need any authorization from anyone to be able to access them. That is a start. Somebody said it's a constitutional change. I said, well, call it whatever you want to call it. That is a start. You break, that's when you begin to break Nigeria into pieces. So when the money comes, you can say, that's us. Some said, Maiyegun, that's a long process. We just need to come together and just announce it and say, well, anything that works, whatever works. But we know where the whole disagreement started from. It started from us, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Efik, the Jaws, the Fulanis, and the rest of those nationalities in Nigeria. They dragged them together, not with their consent. And that is unacceptable enough for every young person who wants to figure out, why is Nigeria not working? Why is it not working? Don't let anybody use God to lie to you. This is the moment they will probably, it's so unfortunate, by the way. I was doing a program the other day, and I was talking about people, young people who can't think, even old people who can't think, older people. They can't think because they were not raised. Most Nigerians are not raised to think for themselves or ask questions. Therefore, when they don't know answers, and sometimes, when you do ask questions and they don't have answers, they will just send it to God. You get what I mean? When people don't have answer for you in Nigeria, they turn into religion so fast. They quickly push that thing to God. They will tell you, God, I don't understand it, but God understand. Then the other person will just be like, yeah, it's true. Now only God understands this kind of thing. Because from cradle to wherever age you are now, many of you were never, many of us were never given the privilege of real education. And real education is what? Is by asking questions and getting answers, providing answers to to every question. Something that's kind of enlighten you about things just before you make any position on them. Asking questions. That's something that people call insult in Nigeria. Oh, you are so rude. Shut up your mouth. Don't ask that question. If you ask that question, it's going to offend him. Oh, if you ask the honorable that question, it's going to offend her. That kind of thing. You can't think. That is why a mad moron, a mad criminal will stand before you as a governor. And then they will be talking about bad road and be talking about God. He's talking about poor education and poor healthcare. He's talking about God. And then the same thing, you have these rogue mad people who built their own big business centers called churches. And they also prey on you. Everybody preys on you. Everyone tries to take advantage of you. You just need to look around and see who and who. How much of them are you allowing? Politicians want to take advantage of you. Religious criminals want to take advantage of you. Traditionalists want to take advantage. Everybody wants to take advantage of you because they know you are gullible enough as a Nigerian. And it's so easy. Once you drop God on the table, everything else doesn't make any sense anymore. Once you drop religion on the table and say, remember Deuteronomy, remember Surah Yasin, you know this and that, remember Anobi this, remember Prophet that, remember this angel, remember that angel, remember this and that. Every common sense is lost. And that is a weakness if you have it. Logically, when you are thinking about government, politics, the decisions, policies, the decision makers, the effect, the repercussion, and all those, when you put all of them together, this requires critical thinking. It has absolutely nothing to do with your religion or your God or your Orisha or your whatever you believe in. But when people begin to bring them in to limit your line of thought, they are the dangerous people you should move away from, because you can't think straight when every little thing people drop religion on the table for you. It limits you. It makes you feel like you don't have to think. Why are you wasting your time? Let God will do it. Don't let anybody buy you with that. You see this likes of a fake pastor. He has a church. He goes to that church every now and then. He has people that he preach to, he pray for them and do all of that nonsense. But he's I don't know how to describe it now, right? He's more than a devil incarnate. How do you sit back and watch innocent people slaughtered, and you don't even have the courage to say it? Speak out. If you know, say everything LGBT. If not because of the money all of you are seeing there, the blood money I call it, waiting or Shiba, you see they do except Buhari's government. When they will tell you, they will say, this fake Pastor Ruga, his hands are tied because he's a vice president, he's a spare tire. You know, what do you want him to do? Oh yeah, nothing. Just to continue to lie to people and tell them that Nigeria is going to be better. That's fine. And that's fear, is it? Bunch of rogue opportunists. That's who they are. A pastor that cannot say the truth. Tifnumbu, that is so tongue-tied that it cannot even utter a single word over the killings in Yoruba land. And you idiots, they call them idiots here in Glasgow, they say, you idiots, you swine, swagger swine, want to blackmail the Yorubas to follow a drug addict, murderers, bunch of loonies, demented criminals. And some of you are young people, and you call that hate. It's because you hate Tinubu. All this hate not going to do you anything. Maiyegun, join us and to make Nigeria great. They are so that they join on ourselves to make Nigeria great in 2015. And some of you are dead now. Some of you are jobless now. Some of you have run out of Nigeria, those who have more money to run. Some of you have now run broke. Majority of you are poor. And you are still shouting, come and join us. It's because you hate people. It's not about hating them. They hate you. But they can disguise it. They can present it in a very, very much like a beautiful way that you can say, oh, I know you are going to kill me, but I like the way you are giving me the call. That's what they're doing to you. And they don't deserve any form of sympathy or support whatsoever. Because every of them that you give, you are signing your death warrant. I won't go drink tea again. I'm coming.
Oh, you do I want. Oh, Mary, Mama Baora, Ulaburi Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2, now Python that's 3. Ulaburi Mary Nandi, win the war. Python that's 1, Python that's 2. na python that's the thread. Unapuri meri Nande bu onyedu aimo. O meri wonelizu ambiroya. Abakare mamanda ora. Unapuri meri Nande win the war. Python that's one, python that's two. Now python that's the thread. Unapuri meri Nande win the war. Python that's one, python that's two. Now python that's the thread. Unapuri meri Nande win the war. Python that's one, python that's two. Now python that's the thread. Unapuri meri Nande.
We have got the opportunity to serve again for additional 4 years. And Nigerians will know the difference.
I hope what for those who don't know. So if you ask me the question that, okay, Maiyegun, what is this all about? Yeah, it's about nothing other than the same thing that the likes of these guys that are going to try to convince you. Their job is to tell you that Nigeria cannot break. Yeah, Nigeria pays them good money, right? So, of course, Nigeria can't break. They are going to have to go broke. Sorry, 1 second. Thank you. I think I got that now. Right. Thank you. So the bottom line is that if I say, as I continue to say all the time, right, Nigeria is not working, okay? And the guys in charge of Nigeria deliberately made Nigeria to not work. The same guys can't make, or let me say the same guys can't then turn around and say, oh, we figured it out again. Let this person be the one in charge. He's going to do it better, and the rest of the time you want to believe them. Nigeria is not working. They have no intention of making it work. No intention whatsoever. Then these same characters, after all this death that you are picking, in fact, if you are from northern Nigeria, that you are picking your family members, your relatives, your neighbors and all that, you are picking their dead bodies after being massacred by terrorists. It's enough not to listen to these guys, because that's what I want to get at. These are the same guys. You know them, PDP, APC, wherever they are. They are not interested in fixing the problem. You see, PDP is telling you that we will fix the problem if you give us power, which means, apart from that, you are on your own. We will continue to make our money on the side. But if you want us to do something different, okay, we will. On the other side, APC, which is also PDP, they are like, we have done so well. All of you that died, you died for nothing. Forget it. All of you that became poorer as your cup of tea, we've done our best. We need another 8 years. PDP spent 16. So this first one, what would they do now? Warm up. We need another one. So these characters are the ones who are now giving you options. Are you with me? So every time you tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, when I tell you that it is a waste of time, a waste of life, and a waste of opportunity, that you can dedicate your energy, your strength, promoting an election that is actually booked, rigged against you from the word go. It's a waste of time. It is. So before you accuse me of not knowing what I'm talking about, I do, because I know where the end result will be. We know these two characters. I mean, we know these political parties. We know the characters in them. I am telling you that, yes, after destroying you to this level, milking and destroying Nigeria, dividing Nigeria to this level, some feel like you deserve it. If you want us to save you, give us power so that we too, we can deal with you. We don't want to talk about this constitutional problem. We know this is a constitutional problem. Well, of course we do, we know. We know all the differences. People who want to leave and people want to stay and people want to control their resources. We know. We actually know about all the problems because we are PDP. But do you want us to do something? Give us power. And you see all the different people they lined up there. They are the characters who brought you to this level. They are the characters who brought Buhari, Atiku, that is going to be your candidate in PDP. Was the one who gave Buhari his own private jet for campaign. I don't know if many of you have seen this video where Buhari, during the 2015 election, Buhari was holding a glass and then they were inside the private jet during the campaign. That was Atiku jet. And he boldly came out and he said he spent over 6 billion to bring Buhari and APC to power. 2019, he came to offer himself. Oh, I can save you from Buhari. Oh, I really want to save you. Come, all of you, come, you know. He didn't get it. They are preparing him again. Characters. Saraki also declared that he wants to be president. These are the characters that brought Buhari. Now, all of you are now going to what? Una could now divide yourselves among them. Abi? But for somebody like me, I know the end result. Nah, fears go hand down. I can tell you free of charge. Free of charge. And I'm now saying that don't be part of that. Don't be part of that. You see, these people that you think are so powerful and all that, the power they believe they are holding is the power they stole from you, the power they bought from you, the power they manipulatively or fraudulently taken from you. But you see, if they wake up one day and they see all of you out there telling them it's over, it's completely over. If there is no real renegotiation with whatever is in Nigeria, we are not going to have any election. That's what I want. Some of you said I won't get it. Of course, I may not get it because I don't have the, what you call it, I don't have that kind of control to say, yeah, let's do this and everybody will do it. But I can warn you, or I can talk some people out of fueling the vehicle of destruction that these people actually pushes. We know them. We know those who brought themselves to power. We know why they did it and the rest of that. But who are those who are paying the prices today? You. And don't be selfish if you think it's not affecting you that much. Don't be selfish enough that those that are facing this barrage of, poverty and then mismanagement. Don't pretend that they don't exist. They do. And they are part of the rot that Nigeria has become. So what do? You validate another election for them? To get what? What are they going to promise you? Have you even asked? Of course not, you are not asking. Characters who brought misery, who brought destruction upon you, who destroyed your education. I know their names. That's something some of you don't like talking about. As a young person, you need to have that mindset that is of clarity. Don't have this polluted mind of all these numbskulls, all these idiots from Lagos who can't really think, sincerely speaking, because they managed to win them to that stage. Don't be like them. Be bold enough to be able to think outside the box. And the thinking outside the box is that what exactly is the pride of an average Yoruba man or woman in the project Nigeria? One, what is exactly the significant impacts of being part of Nigeria to an average Yoruba man or woman through the association with Nigeria? I mean, the characters that are representing Nigeria or those who are aiming to represent Yorubas in Project Nigeria. What has their impact been on you before now? Zero. Sincerely. So why should you, as a young person, dedicate your time to salvage the cookie jar of these rogue, jobless, unproductive criminals? I love calling them criminals because they are criminals in my book. It's only criminal that will be so heartless that for 22 years, they couldn't find anything around to turn around the fortune of Yoruba land even when they claim to be the executive of that place. For 22 years, not a single one of them is bold enough to say, you know what? If we really want to continue to be part of this Nigeria, we would not be part of this constitution. And now that constitution is a constitution that Ikene Shatabandu, the fake Pastor Ruga himself, possibly is aware of. He knows about all the lacunas, he knows about all the limitations, he knows about all the agitations of the people, which are indeed legitimate if Nigeria was a democracy, genuinely, but Nigeria is not. And you see these guys are not democratic anything. These are a bunch of opportunists and criminals who took advantage of the Yoruba people to keep us tied in the project Nigeria. And they also said, we had no choice, we had no option. We stick to that, it's non-negotiable. Which Omoluabi Yoruba will stand up and sit anywhere or sit at any table, right, and say the arrangement that the Yorubas are involved is non-negotiable. Then you turn around and tell your people, you guys are overreacting. Nigeria is the only thing you've got. Let's make it great. How do you make a country great when you don't make the people great? When the people are completely lower, and the effort of those in government is to keep them that lower. How do you make a country great by that? It is fraud. It is fraud. If they were genuine and sincere, they know about the imbalance. You get what I mean now? You as a young person may not probably grasp with that, but they know the imbalance. All right? The imbalance there is that a section of the country feels like it is their birthright for the rest of it's another section of the country to feed them, to clothe them, while they make the rules. I mean, even when they plunder the commonwealth of everyone, right? They don't want to be held responsible and all that. So how is that now amusing enough for you to want to still be part of that contraption or part of that arrangement? They are not speaking for you. You are not speaking for yourselves. And at the same time, you are expecting a miracle, something to just happen and change the whole thing. Nothing will happen. Stop validating their criminality. Stop promoting all this madness. Stop defending all this crime of theirs, because that's exactly where or what keep them in power, or keep them to keep doing what they are doing to you. They will tell you you have no choice. No choice. How dare them say no choice? Of course they can say no choice, because of course there's no choice for some of you. You get what I mean now? So these characters are the characters who brought you here. Some of you are fixated on them. Some of you adore them. Some of you worship them. But so many of us don't give a damn about them. Yet they have the time. Do you know the reason why they say have the time? You know the reason why they are still like everywhere? Like, yeah, Mr. This and that. You want to try this, you know? If Jagaban come out here, you will see crowd. You know why? Because they have you. They do. They have you. Those of you who ignorantly cares for the criminals who brought this upon you in the first place. They won't talk about it. They don't want you to sit down and say, okay, what do we do? What should we do about Nigeria? They don't have any clue. But they'll tell you, God is going to fix Nigeria. Have you seen any country that God fixes in the whole world? And they say, you see this country, now God fix them. Have you seen any country? I know. I told you. If you put anything, if you're having a chat with Nigerians, if you put God on the table, the whole mood will change again. The religious part of them, the madness part of them will kick in. They can't think anymore. It will become an insult. They become the defender of God. Like the Mama Gio, the one where they see hellfire. They did an interview for BBC interview just a few days ago, talking about religion. They did an interview for, I think it was yesterday, and I saw the video today. Bros, just within 4 hours, the video don't see like 1 million views. You know what? She's a celebrity. Somehow, with all the nonsense that she's been spewing and all the rubbish and the gibberish that she's been talking about, there are people who feel like do not judge her. Is, you know, she's, you know what I mean, religion. If you drop it on the table, Nigerians will lose their senses completely. And if you want to defraud Nigerians, yeah, just put God on the table, not me, because you'll try it. You'll try a lot. So once you put God on the table, they will tell you how you know what I mean, how every other thing doesn't make any sense anymore. There's no country in the whole world. There's no country in the world built by God. Even Saudi Arabia, where you go to your Mecca and the rest of that, yeah? People built the place. Some people made the place what it is. In Nigeria, politicians will tell you they have done everything. We have left everything to the hand of God. Let us pray. Then you have a pastor as vice president. The highest fraudulent, religious fraudulent arrangements ever. So automatically, now God puts him there. Then God puts him there to be a useless person, to become a partner in crime of impoverishing Nigerians and the rest of that. So can you then blame God if God put them there? Bunch of Luna, especially in Yoruba. It means majority equating Jani, just the capital, right? Majority equating Jani. And I want to Jani on shape a delay. Ekpe afọwọ́fà ni egun àfọwọ́fà nítorí ìjẹkújẹ wèrè yín alápámá ṣiṣẹ́ ló pọ̀ jù nínú yín. Shey you get ẹ̀yin all risers, and that is why when they want all these auctions, they will come and make up the crowd, and then once they were given the stipend or whatever they want to give to them, they disappear. When it is time for them to rig any of your election, they also go for those criminals, including those of you who are pretty much like educated as well, a bunch of rogues. So, yeah? They call on you, you all sit together, you cook up the whole thing, you rig the whole thing, and then you go back to your miserable lives, where you have to start going and pray to God. God should please touch the heart of our leaders. We pray that God will touch them, anointing. God will direct our leader. They are doing national prayer for politicians so that they can think, are you not mad? Are you not mad? You can't think straight. I know. And I was with my friends. I was with my friends a few days ago. And we're talking about Nigerians and then the poverty in Nigeria. And when we're talking about the hunger too, said, listen, there are two types of hunger. You can be hungry now and say, oh, I think I'm famished. I'm due for something to eat, yeah? Or you can be hungry and know that the reason why you are hungry is because you've not really had a real meal for the past few days, because you can't even afford that. That's a permanent hunger that the politicians created for you. They created that. If you have the economic sense, some of you don't, okay? But for those who have the economic sense, that it is like a domino effect. Once you remove one pack, everything will just be like a domino effect. It will be crashing down. It will touch you, touch everybody, including those of you living in denial. So they created that. When they created that, yeah, then they also created a market for their political survivor. You are their political survivor. So abuse me, attack me, come in and do all of that. I will continue to tell you until probably you listen, change, or you die. One of the two will happen to you. It is either Nigeria kills you, or you join those who would rather kill Nigeria. This particular killing Nigeria, yeah, you will join them, or Nigeria kill you. Until then, I will continue to remind you of consequences of your actions. I can't tell you not to take them. I can only advise you what it will be. You see this new one that all of you are going to see this year. Now, me and you anyway, this is Maiyegun General Political, and I can do enough, right, to make your days in your swagger and every other fraudulent things you want to promote and all of that. I can make it kind of more interesting by making it more terrible for you every now and then, because there are people waiting that you're going to deceive. You're going to succeed in deceiving so many people. Of course, there will always be market for that. But as much as we can cut that, the much we can cut that down, the better. And I hope I have convinced one person today. Don't join all this talk. When you hear anything from Osinbajo about Nigeria, it is fake. It is fraud. Okay? He's speaking from the angle of his own pot, fitting bottle. If you take Nigeria away, you've taken away his fitting bottle. He's a man who is living inside assholerock for over 6 years. It feels like he could probably live there for another 9 years, possibly. And he's dreaming it. What do you want him to say? Nigeria cannot break. Tifnumbu, that once said that he doesn't believe in Nigeria. He doesn't believe in one Nigeria. He is a Yoruba man. He would rather support Yoruba and all of that. Way back in 1998, Tifnumbu, the same Tifnumbu will tell you today Nigeria is one, is a great country, is a blah, 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 blah. And you idiots, you can't see through the lie because Nigeria wants to be president, or Nigeria is also what? Feeding him, because that's what happened. Look at the rest of all of them that I'm going to tell you that Nigeria, this and that is non-negotiable. They are all beneficiary of the system. Save for the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all-risers, the babasokwe's of Lagos, the on-boot slaves, the obedient fools, the sophisticated demorons, including their cousins and their nephews, the Buharians, the Buhari Diteres, the Buhari Dinotus and the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungosiaris, the Unnekaris, and the rest of all of their clans, except for them, who are only the useful idiots in the hands, or let me say the useful idiot or the useful tools in their toolbox, in the political toolbox. They just put in and push the narrative that they have something reasonable to say. Same for those ones. You see all these characters who will tell you about Nigeria, this, about this, beautiful, this and that, and all of that stuff. And, you know, these are a bunch of opportunists. These are opportunists whose existence solely relies on the existence of this rigged, corrupt Nigeria. So what do? Join those who want to shut it down. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, okay? Listen. You live there. You face it. This is the first week of January. This first week of January alone, more than 500 Nigerians have been killed. 500 human beings. Wow. Unfazed. Many of you are unfazed. Many of you are unbothered. Just to concern you. At least you never die now. They never kill you, or they never burn down your village and the rest of it. So maybe it's not even happening. Oh, well, God loves you more than them. You go chop your own breakfast. They don't tell me. Everybody will chop them. That's what I mean. If you don't join those who want to call them out and hand them, and you continue to take the side of the one that works for you, no wahala. Are you with me? When you become a victim, your story will make the headlines, and we will use you as a warning to others too. Like, you see that guy? That guy where they cut the head off, right? Unfortunately, so sad, right? This guy happened to be somebody that had the chance of listening to Maiyegun, but wait, he never trusted Maiyegun because Maiyegun is talking about the breaking up of Nigeria. Don't let that frighten you. Are you with me? Don't let the breakup of Nigeria frighten you. It is the right thing to do. USSR. You know where this, that was the old Russia. Yugoslavia. Now so that they talk, enough you break. Enough you happen. You go, how many, what do you mean by Yugoslavia no reach half of Nigeria? Yugoslavia, they broke. Give me that name. I did not call Yugoslavia. What did they call them? They broke into 11 countries. 11. Help me. 11 countries. Nigeria is going to break up into many countries, including those who say that they doubt if they be Yoruba or not. As Nigeria, when Nigeria start breaking up, you see, the new countries they will break. Look at us, the Yoruba people. We are over 60 million people. That's a very big country. If at some point a part of Yoruba people say, "Oh boy, we know the Yoruba, we know the Yoruba nation. We be Ugu nation. We be this, we be that." They will also break away and form their own country. Nigeria is not going to live forever anymore. The division is so obvious, and it was never together from the word go. It was put together for commercial reason. The rest after that remains commercial. Even to those who claim to be Nigerians and in charge of Nigeria, Nigeria remains a commercial package for them, or to them. So it will break up. Listen, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, listen, it is going to break up. 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 When you break one, you break again, you break again, you break again, until people feel like, oh boy, we don't do our own country. Our small space with this, our country with this. Don't let anybody make breaking up of Nigeria something that is like an Armageddon. The people who are scared are the politicians who are milking the system. What is your own excuse? Is this Nigeria working for you? Or are you hoping on God? God go do them. Everything will soon change. In fact, my Papa God said this and that. Now they are telling you to whether you are going to go to hellfire or you want to go to heaven. You are still there trying to figure it out. When many people know that Nigeria is actually the hellfire. But the politicians who are managing to get their own lives together, get whatever they can get from the system and the rest of that, those are the ones who bought the privilege in the hellfire. Nigeria is hellfire, and you know it. So if anybody is telling you that there is one hellfire anywhere, even if if you get there as a Nigerian, they will give you pass. People told me that. You may think you don't believe me. Yes, I've been told. I said, with the hell that they have unleashed on you in Nigeria, if you have your sense still intact, you will never have to worry about the hell for now. You will deal with the people who make the place a hell for you. And if you don't deal with them, trust me, there is no hell for you. You're already in hell. Enjoy it. It's here. You can experience it. You can write about it. You can talk about it. That is exactly what they've made Nigeria. Hell, where people can just get picked up anytime, locked up anyhow, and nobody is going to be held responsible for that. What kind of a hell is that? Nigeria. So thank you very much. I think I have done the little I want to do on my Sunday sermon. Yesterday I spoke to the younger people who I believe that they deserve to know how Nigeria works, and at the same time they shouldn't deceive themselves expecting that something is going to get different. It's never going to be different. Is this what it is? Your parents, they thought Nigeria was going to work. They are old now. You know they are old now. Some of you are going to, if you haven't started having your own kids, you're going to start having kids soon. Then that Nigeria would make sense to you. That's why people say, Bugwalama.
Bugwalama je breakfast. Asikotoni kanuku ma jete ototoni. Sumabila.
Somebody said it's Algeria, whatever you want to call it whatever it is. But from your mind, do not make yourself a probable prey to these criminals. They know what they are doing. Do you know what you are doing? Go out there and start campaigning for them. Go out there and start promoting them. As you gamble away your future, gamble away your life, and you can go on and wait for the Mama Gio's miracle that will possibly make it better when you are foolishly and stupidly follow the same thing that brought you to this level in the first place. Well, again, they do really make sense to people until they found themselves in the pit. 2015, it was easier to make enemies, defending Buhari and gang. 2022, majority of you are now feeling like, this is a calamity. This is a disgrace. Yes, I am here to warn you ahead of time. You can still save the day, or you can perish with it. That's your choice. As for us, it will be Yoruba nation until we can no longer talk again. And that's actually something right. Nobody should be holding you responsible. Should be trying to kill you for talking about who you are and what you want. Yoruba nation, we are Yorubas. We want our own nation. We want to talk to our brothers. You know what I mean? You should never be hunted or killed for that, except in Nigeria. So promote them until Nigeria kill you. But until then, we will continue to remind you that you can always have it differently and better if you choose it. And stop blaming other people for your problems. All of you jobless Lagos Yoruba boys and girls, right? Your leaders, they mortgage your future. They stole everything from you. They denied you the proper infrastructural development. They made you useless and jobless. They make you dependent and then, completely useless. Then you turn around and you're looking for people to blame. You're looking for tribes to blame. You are looking for people to blame for your misfortune and their unfortunate existence. And you are sparing those criminals who are driving those Porsche car, Porsche mansions, and the rest of that they built for themselves with your money. You don't even have the spine to stand up to them. So you bunch of idiots as well in Yoruba land, looking what the people who brought this upon you are the criminals that some of you are going to be promoting soon. You are already promoting them. Yeah. So the shame is on you, and stop blaming other people for your problems. Okay. If you have no jobs in Yoruba land, old Tifnubu and gang. If you have no security in Yoruba land, old Tifnubu and gang. If you have no electricity in Yoruba land, old Tifnubu and gang. If you have no good roads or good hospitals or good schools in Yoruba land, old Tifnubu and gang. Okay. If your money is unaccounted for in Yoruba land, old Tifnubu and gang. Don't try to deviate it and look for somebody else to blame if you're not stupid enough. And if you're not really that stupid, please focus, channel it towards these rogues and criminals. And finally, if everything I said this afternoon, if any of them or all of them offended you or make you feel somehow and the rest of that, yeah, please take this, breathe in, breathe out. And when I said it, you just say me, okay? Uma bluni ati wo ati feeling it all hot. Ejoma blow down on it. And mind you, watch the video again and get angry again, because I'm going to see you later today. Alexa, turn it up to 7.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Presido bá rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.